You know how they feel.
So it's all like comes together, and that's like the great part about it. You know, you don't just stay in your own lane. You know, you got to go out and you got to keep doing stuff. So yeah, I do think everybody's well-rounded like that.
Yeah. What about the professors? Like, how well do they work with their students, and like, how much overlap is like the classes as well, like with their professors?
Each one of my majors with PR and MMJ, I have felt, you know, my professors have been there for me 100%. Especially in PR, Professor Kavanaugh, she has been very helpful. I always go to her to ask questions, with advising too. Dr. Gonders, and then, you know, with MMJ, Stepanuk, and then Dr. Bach, you know, they've all just been helpful no matter what you have questions. You know, you need help with something. I've gone to Dr. Stepanuk a couple times, you watch my video, you know, let me know what I need to fix. And so they're all just, you know, they want you to do your best. And they, you know, even if you don't know what you're doing, like we, after MC 320, I think, we were like, okay, now you're gonna write stories, and now you're gonna do some like multimedia. And I was like, what? I've never done this before. But you know, they're there to help you. They don't just throw you out there without wanting to give you that assistance. So I think, and especially like having the Arrow, and then at PR you got Riverfront and PR SSA. So you kind of get that extra stuff from there too.
Yeah, very, very cool. And I love that, you know, whenever we're at all of our air meetings, we have representation from the advertising part. We have PR, you know, people and MMJ. Right. So it's like all these types of students are working together, and you're seeing how everything really does mesh well, and how you can take everybody's strengths and make something beautiful with it, I think, honestly.
And the great part is that, you know, yes, we are majoring in mass comm, but all four, like you said, you know, they work together. You know?
And they're very different. Like if you're interested in one specific area, like you're going to get that area, but you have so many other options if you're willing to do it. What kind of like we have to have a math book, and you're learning about different, you know, softwares. How has that experience been? Like that was really, really stressful for me trying to figure that out.
So, since I didn't come in as a major, I didn't have a math book at first. So that was like, oh, I need this.
Yeah.
So that was a little overwhelming.
But I didn't either. I had to get a math book. I had to buy it from my friend.
So, well, that works though. I mean, like I bought it literally the day before classes started. But I think that definitely was an adjustment, but 100% love it. I mean, I would never trade my math book.
Yeah, I know.
It's like everything is just there. But the Adobe software, that was definitely a struggle. So it's Adobe Suite, I think it's called, Creative Cloud. And it has all of the programs, so like your multimedia programs on there. One we're using now is Audition. So,
yeah.
And we have to learn how to use those. And I think that is a skill that any job is going to want to have now, especially applying for jobs. I've seen a requirement is knowing how to do this.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was hard to learn at first. I definitely did struggle. My sister's a graphic design artist, so I had her helping me sometimes, but definitely I've kind of gotten the hang of it. But I've enjoyed it though, because you can do so many things, make so many things, and it's just that creative aspect again that you just always have, and you can always produce something for somebody, you know. I've enjoyed it. You know, it's a struggle.
Yeah, it's a skill that I will like always want now. Now that I have it, like I can't imagine not being able to do it. I'm like trying to do things in Word, and it is so not user friendly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, give me InDesign back. Oh, it's so stressful. Okay, so if you were a freshman thinking about the mass comm major, what would you want to hear from a senior, and you know, an encouragement to maybe choose that major?
Well, for somebody who didn't know what to do at first, I think if you want to find a major that has so many opportunities for you, that opens so many doors to professors and students, and that gives, and you know, if you want to be creative, I think this is a place to be. You know, I really wanted music. I, you know, grew up doing music so much, but I didn't want to major in it. And this is an opportunity for me to, okay, like I can work for a music company or promote somebody with those, you know, skills I've learned. So I think this major is really for the people who just want to create, to build others, you know, to produce content. And that's And that's what we, live in today. It's always going to be around. And if you want a major that's going to allow you to do so many different things, I think this is the place for you to be.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I've heard a lot too. They say journalism is a dying field.
yeah, I've heard that. I've also heard radio is.
Yeah. What do you say to combat that, especially through multimedia journalism, that education that you're getting here?
Journalism can be big or small. So, you're writing a comment, you're posting how you feel about something is journalism. You're constantly writing. It's always going to be around. People want to publish how they feel. They want to post their opinions, and it all just ties together. So, yes, it might be buying newspapers, but everybody's always on their phone, and that's where it gets right there. It's like everybody's constantly, either viewing something visually or you're reading.
Mm-hmm. There will always be an adaptation of what maybe the newspaper would provide, now. And so, like, as you mentioned, like, the Arrow is so multimedia driven that we're doing podcasts and, we are doing a newspaper still, but everything's still online. So it's like, there's always going to be something when it comes to journalism. So don't be discouraged by that.
Well, also, with PR, it's, especially with COVID, it's kind of hard to find jobs right now, but someone's always going to need a PR person, no matter what. You either can do working for like one small company or a large company. You something bad happens, they're always there. Something good happens, let's promote. So it's always, this field is always going to be around.
Okay, Hannah, you are about to graduate in May. Do you feel like that you are prepared for the real world?
I do feel like I'm prepared for the real world. Like I said, so many opportunities and so many ways to learn. I feel like what I can apply from this and the skills I've learned, I can give to the job. So that's just the biggest thing, coming in from not knowing what I wanted to do in college to feeling I have all this behind me and can show, hey, you need me because I offer all this. And it's like, it's not just kind of limiting yourself. I felt like I really did get a 100% quality education. And SEMO offered me that, and that was great. And I don't regret it at all because I've met great people, I've learned so many things. So it's just overall been a great experience.
Perfect. Okay, final thoughts to anyone who is maybe in the drudges of this major and is really, struggling of like trying to figure out how to manage everything and figure out, what do you want to say to them?
Don't give up. It's gonna get hard. There will be times when you just feel the workload is just taking you over. But, there's always people there to help you. There's always teachers who are going to be understanding and want to help you get that A. So don't give up. Keep learning. Keep trying to understand what you're doing. And that's the biggest thing for me. Sometimes this is a lot, and it was just hard. And I didn't ever want to give up because I know what they were giving me is what it's going to be like in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the pressure. You got to meet deadlines. You can't be late on deadlines because your boss won't, let that slip. So even though it's intense, it's building up that mentality for you. Like, okay, I got to get this done. I got to be organized.
So, got to be professional and really good experience.
I think that overall is why,
Okay, Hannah. Now, if we have any questions about the mass comm major, or maybe just need, a little advice, is there any way that we could reach out to you?
Yeah, you can reach out to me through my email. That's Hannah Radden 426@gmail.com. If you ever feel like you don't know if you like this major, or you want somebody who kind of has been in it for 4 years, I'd love to talk to you because I know what that feels like. And I do really promote this because it's an accredited program too, which is great.
Huge.
I was applying for a job and it said it has to be through an accredited university.
Really?
So, and that was for NPR, but that it's like, yeah, wow, like that's great to have that. So I think a lot of people don't know that either. So, if you ever want to talk, I'm here to talk.
Perfect. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Hannah, for joining me today, and I will see you guys soon here at Major Decisions.